There's a new study out that here in the USA that has determined that being out of shape in midlife, and I would guess that's anywhere from 40 some years old to late 50s, early 60s, may actually increase the chance of you having a smaller brain volume later in life. There's past research suggesting that brain shrinkage can be unavoidable. It happens with aging, and if you smoke, and if you're obese, you have diabetes, maybe high blood pressure. Now they're factoring in inactivity here with this as well. And, how would that impact people when they get into their 60s or 70s? Let's visit with somebody who's in his 60s but doesn't have the problem of being out of shape. Warren Honeycutt, six-time Mr. America finalist and the author of Get Lean for Life, joining us again. Good morning, Warren.
Good morning, Dave. How are you?
I'm doing all right. Why do you have to? You don't have to worry about this. Okay, never mind. Click. It's not going to be a factor because you were in shape all along. But you see other people who, I need to be in better shape. Everybody seems like they want to, lose a few pounds or a lot of pounds. But now this could affect the volume of our brains, not just our, bellies. So how does that compute? Are you buying it?
I do. And we can take that study along with, a library full of others, Dave, that point out exercise increases the brain's capacity to reason, to think, to have memory. And people that don't exercise, they're twice as likely to have Alzheimer's, dementia, etc., than those that do. And that's a huge, huge reason to get on that treadmill or get out and, take that walk, or jog, or run, or play tennis, or dance, or you name it, anything to get the heart rate up. If it's good for the heart, it's good for the brain.
It's interesting because, and I know we've mentioned this before, and I'm not a scientist, but, when you work out and you have a good workout, it kind of gives you that, kind of mini euphoric feeling. So there's something happening in your brain, and I guess if you're doing that on a regular basis, so it's energizing there, not just the muscles that you're stretching and tearing and then repairing to build up muscle mass. So we know there's something going on in the brain with that it makes you feel good even when you're tired.
Yes, and I'm not a scientist either, Dave, but I do know, based on study and looking at research and documentation, what happens in exercise, and I'm not going to say this word right, so you'd have to Google it, but serotonin is released in the brain,
right,
and that gives people a good mood. And it also is the target or the intent of antidepressants, and this is the way to do it naturally. As a matter of fact, going to another study, Duke University, Dave, took 3 groups, one that exercised, a second that exercised with medication, and then a third just medication. All of these people were suffering from chronic depression. At the end of 6 weeks, the exercise only equaled that of those exercising with medication and only on medication.
Really?
How about that?
Yeah,
how about that?
No, it's pretty strong. Not just incidental, some would say anecdotal. That's fine. I just think there's so many ways. We know that when you exercise regularly, that people generally sleep better. And I'm not saying go out and work out like at midnight and then try to go to sleep. That doesn't work. It gets your heart rate up. It's hard to calm down. But later, it gets you into that circadian rhythm too, and that the sidebar from that is that people who sleep better have better brain function. We've done segments on that, so they may not all directly cross from A to B, Warren, but it seems like there's enough things like this. There's enough evidence to start propping up that idea that the workout is about far more than toning up.
Yes, and certainly exercise does help tone, shape, trim, lose weight, etc.
Yeah. But
the health benefits, and we always look at the body, and I guess because we can't see the brain, we don't think about how the effect of the body is affecting the brain. And if you think about the heart rate going up and you're breathing heavier, well, your brain is part of your body. That blood flow goes to the brain. It takes the nutrients, the glucose, and the oxygen, and it actually does, and these are other studies that have been done, Dave, increase neurons and synapses in the brain. Memory is better, cognitive reasoning is better, and just thinking overall is better. Bottom line, benefit being, when you do all those things, hey, you're more productive, and when we're more productive, we make more money. Not a bad thing.
No, not a bad thing. No, not at all. Now, here comes the fine print, ladies and gentlemen. If your workout includes, we're talking about the brain now. So if your workout includes, let's say, boxing, try the speed bag, okay? Work with the sit. You don't actually have to get in the ring and take punches to the head because you may not have a smaller brain later in life, but you may knock yourself around. We're learning a lot about concussions these days. So things that don't involve impact to the brain are what we're talking about with keeping in better shape and wearing. And Warren, you could tell us first and foremost, there are plenty of things you can do that do not involve impact to your head that can help get you in great shape.
Well, especially for the brain, the aerobic is the best, and that is anything that gets the heart rate up and breathing heavier. That can be anything, Dave, from walking, power walking, tennis, basketball, racquetball, even dancing. And obviously the treadmill, but let's be honest, that's not exactly the most exciting thing.
No, but sometimes,
to get on a treadmill
no,
and
but
stand
sometimes,
there
hey, and sometimes when you got a foot of snow here in the wintertime, it can be practical, though.
It is, and I do it.
Yeah, you
I
can't
do
get
it
outside,
because of the benefit.
Yeah, it makes sense. Now, this study came out from Boston University School of Medicine. So this isn't a fly-by-night. Boston University School of Medicine. It's out there right now, and basically it just says that, if you want to have brain volume later in life, start working out now and skip some of these other vices, and you may be able to get there. Warren Honeycutt's 62 years of age. He's not in late life yet, but he's enjoying life because he's a 6-time Mr. America finalist, the author of Get Lean for Life, 7 Keys to Lasting Weight Loss. Where can we find you online and get the book, Warren?
GetHoneycutt.com is probably the simplest and the quickest and easiest.
Good all the way around.
Thank you.
Always appreciate talking to you, sir. Have a good one.
You too, and great talking with you as always, Dave. Thanks.
All right, Warren Honeycutt joining us here. He says he's totally buying into that. Does seem to make a lot of sense. This is the Morning Wake Up. This is 1320 WILS.